Everybody, thanks so much for tuning in and supporting. I hope you're sharing these and spreading them around. I want to say thank you so much to my incredible co-host Sean Raven Chain of Sister Kill Cycle. Your support and friendship and the entire crew at Sister Kill Cycle has been legendary. But thanks so much for sharing this interview with me. I don't know if I could have gotten through it without you, to be honest. So I hope you enjoy it. It's with the incredible Andy Gerald. This is a really, really fun one. I hope you spread it as far as you guys can. Thank you so much for supporting me, my work, and just everything I do, everybody. Kelly V, Popping Seed. Thanks so much, as always, to my usual incredible co-host, Lips, Steve Kudlow of Amble. This one is a very, very special one. We did outside our regular scheduled recording times of 4:30 on Friday Eastern Standard Time. So I have this wonderful help. So thank you so much, as always, to Anvil and Lips for everything you've done. Thanks so much to everybody, Kelly V. So sit back, grab your joints, grab your beers, grab your glass of wine or your coffee, whatever it is you need to get comfy. Put your feet up and enjoy this great interview to come. Kelly V. Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in to a really special interview with Raven Chain and Adam Gerald. Wow.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing? I hear ya. There you are. Oh, great shirt.
Thank you.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Uh, Lots of water.
I know why. I know why. Glad you made it. I guess he's just installing Zoom right now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. How's things going down in Florida right now?
It's fucking, I'll show you. Fabulous.
Fabulous. Shut
Um,
up.
let's see. There's the temperature.
Shut up. I don't know if it translates, but it's like minus 20 in the morning here. I
Cel-
still can't do the conversion all my
Yep,
time, and
that's Celsius, right?
yeah, it's
Yeah,
fucking cold. It's
yeah.
like you go outside and the saliva and the snot just instantly freezes in your mouth. Like takes your breath away cold. Yeah. I mean
I remember those days living up north. No, absolutely not.
I miss Florida so much. So much. Oh man. I'm so nervous right now, I can't lie.
No need to be nervous.
I know. I know it'll go well.
It always does.
It always does. I know. But I could just edit this part out, right?
Sure, you can edit whatever you want.
I never do though. Never do. Alright. I guess that's better. I still have my joint though. And coffee. That's essential.
And coffee, yes. Less mercury. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, very much so. It definitely applies. Hmm. So what is your advice for dealing with nerves? Like, do you
Dealing
get
with,
nervous before a show?
yeah, always.
Yeah. What do you
I,
do?
I drink.
Half the people say that. Half the
uh,
people say that. But then you
yeah,
run the risk of like being too messy to perform, no?
yeah, doing a shitty show. Yeah,
That's
uh,
never happened though, right?
yeah. Unfortunately, that's a difficult balancing act. Is
Hmm.
it, to drink enough to not be nervous, and then not drink too much to where you're not slurring. Yeah. So that's most of the time I will actually perform without drinking. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's been many shows where I've been fucking wasted, but thank God not many of them have seen the light of day in video form. There's a few out there though. I'm like, I've actually called the people. I was like, please take that down. That's just horrible.
Oh, that's too bad. I guess it's a fine line. Yeah, it's a nerve-wracking thing. I mean, have you ever gone to a concert where they've just been too messed up to even play?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Sucks, doesn't it?
Manson for one.
Shit.
Yeah,
I
I've
was,
actually seen Manson like stumble around the stage, and about probably 4 songs in, that was it. He just left and never came back.
here we go. Maybe we won't bring that up.
Yeah, well, who knows? Like I
Who
said,
knows? Who knows? Connecting. Hello?
I wonder if he knows you got to hit your little camera button and turn it on. It doesn't automatically turn on.
I don't know. All I see is a gray square with his name on it.
Yeah,
No picture yet. He'll figure it out. Connecting. See?
This technology it's fucking insane.
It's crazy, but yeah, it's like when it messes up, it's this stressful thing. Now it says connecting again, so. Man, I've been looking for a cool pair of shades, and with everything closed, my only two options were Walmart and the dollar store, and I did not find a cool pair of shades to wear in this interview.
Dollar Tree. I used to, I used to do like the old ZZ Top song and buy the cheap sunglasses. There we go.
Hey, nice to meet you. Welcome. Nope, no audio yet.
Got video, no audio. Or is that on your side?
Does it make a difference if I do that? Can you hear me now?
You have to do sign language.
Can you hear me now? I don't think so. Who's making that like blank stare towards
Yeah.
the right?
It's usually the face I make when I'm sitting there like, well, what the fuck do I do?
I know, and it's funny. It's like these are only 40 minutes, and then they cut me off, and it's like 5 minutes is always this. Times 4 or 5 people.
That's why COVID needs to hurry up and go the fuck away so you can get a production team in there and
I know, do live person interviews.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, man. I agree wholeheartedly. I want that fancy desk.
Oh yeah.
Then I know I'm
like
official,
we were talking,
right?
like we were talking last night. The whole David Letterman's
Exactly,
spread,
right?
the desk, and the nice couch.
So people know they've made it, but so also I know I've made it.
The desk. We'll just go to a thrift store and get you some old desk.
That's fine. Do. Oh, come on.
All right, now I hear you.
Yay! Now we can hear you and see you.
Jesus Christ. It's like I've never worked a computer before.
Don't feel
Zoom
bad.
does that to you.
This stuff fucks with me the whole time. I got into it. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And then I looked at the bottom and I got to turn my own camera on. I was like, oh, that's why.
Well, it seems like every time I use, oh wait, you guys can hear me, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't hear myself, so I don't know what the hell is going on. It seems like every time I use Zoom, I have to do like some sort of different settings or something. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it like it's different for everybody depending what platform you're using. Like I'm on Mac, so mine's through, Apple.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. We right here are doing a fabulous commercial that Zoom should just automatically sponsor, I think, right here. The easy use
us not knowing how to do anything.
Anyways, well, how are you, man? Why don't you introduce yourself and who you are?
Andy Gerrold. I've been a musician since I was around 12 or 13, I guess I started playing guitar. But professionally, probably since I was around 25, I guess.
Okay.
And I'm 42 now, so a long time.
I know. Oh, wow. And where are you located right now?
Right now, I live in Las Vegas.
Oh, wow. How are things going down there?
Good. I mean, it was weird when the COVID thing first happened. Like they literally just shut the whole strip down, so it was just like post-apocalyptic looking movie. Like it was crazy because normally
Yeah.
when like it doesn't matter. Like a lot of people say, oh, this is the season for Vegas and blah blah. But in reality, like if you go down to the strip at any time of year, it's completely packed.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Packed.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, there's no. I mean, it's just people walking all over the place, um and yeah, when you drove down there, it was crazy to just see no one walking down the street.
It's, I'm sure Tampa, Sean's same thing, but Toronto has the longest street in the world, Yonge Street, and it was just eerie to stand there because never before. And I would try this to try to go somewhere, anywhere in Toronto, and be alone and not have anybody in your view at all. There's always somebody. It was
Yeah.
impossible to do, and it was a really creepy feeling. I agree. Um,
I think that's one of the biggest thing that's affecting people during this pandemic or whatever you want to call it is just the fact that it's really bringing awareness to how connected we are to people, even if we feel like we're disconnected and like to be alone. The fact that when it's pushed on you, it's a very eerie feeling. It's very humbling.
Yeah, I made a just a stupid comment in one of my friends' posts the other day that I said I want to start hating people in real life again, because or in person, because it's just like when it first started, I was the same way. I was like, this is fine. I'm used to just staying at home and being by myself. And then, you take for granted just the tiny little times that you would go out and hang out, with your friends. And which is not very often for me, but when you're forced to not be able to do it, then you're
yes.
just like, oh man, this is after a couple months, I was like, all right, I get it. Like this is brutal now. But
So
Vegas is like pretty much starting to open a little bit normally. I guess the numbers have gone down a little bit, and they're like my wife, for example, she just got her second dose of the vaccine yesterday. So it's starting to roll out.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, down down here in Florida,
You guys have just ignored it
dude.
altogether.
Yeah,
Completely.
this is like the Wild West down here, and
Yeah.
I have to say, my wife is a doctor, so I'm not like just spitting in science's face, but I think I think there is a bunch of fudging of the numbers out there that has led to more fear probably than it is warranted. I mean, obviously, it's a real virus. It's making people sick. It has, you know, at least assisted in killing some people. So we can't discount that. But
Yeah, I
dude,
mean, I think when you look at just the cases, I guess that giant number is terrifying.
Yes.
Um and and whether it contributed, 100% or even 20% to deaths, if it had anything to do with someone dying, then that and they wouldn't have died otherwise, then I mean you have to count that, right? I mean,
yeah,
I don't think there's a lot of COVID, just, oh, this person died from COVID. It's like they had the virus and it made them sick, and it made something else more complicated,
right.
which led to their death.
Comorbidities.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, regardless, it's like I still haven't gotten it, and pretty much everyone I know has had it. And I mean, even my wife had it like a while ago, about probably 6 months ago or something. But it was so mild
Hmm.
that it was like she had symptoms for basically like a night, And then we had the people come, they actually like came to our house and did a test, and she got her results back and she tested positive and I tested negative. So her case was so mild that she didn't even like give it to me. And we're like literally in the same house all day long. Like, so same thing with actually with her mom. Her mom's husband had it and her mom didn't get it. So
wow.
it's just really weird. Yeah.
It's so strange. It's almost like it's programmed to get certain people. I mean,
well,
strange
yeah,
as that
almost
seems.
yeah.
I know people who have died. I know people who have died or have had family die, and I think it strikes a different chord when it becomes a reality to you personally. I also am just wondering how, Florida is opening wide up, and I
We've
think
been open. We've been
open,
I don't think they ever
right?
closed.
And now I'm stuck in Toronto where they've had this wishy-washy shutdown of things, right? So it's like we had a curfew, we had, everything shut down but the pharmacies and Walmart. And, it's like you have to do one or the other, completely shut down or stay open so it runs through the populace, I think.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they should just let it run through the populace because that would kill a lot more people. But um the problem is that like shutting down the whole economy and the government, like in America at least, the government not helping anyone with helping pay their rent or doing any of that stuff. You can't do that. Someone has to work, right? I mean, people have to pay their bills and and so there's no way to I think the countries that did just completely shut down, well, their governments subsidize everyone and gave them money to pay their rent and pay their bills and blah blah blah, and it seemed to work. At least it worked a little bit better. But America's weird though because it's just like one
shut
half.
Down America would be. Wow.
I just don't know. I don't even know if that's even possible. I mean, Vegas did it. Vegas did it for a little bit, basically shutting down the strip and everywhere, and people went bonkers. And the governor basically had to sort of like open things up as far as like, okay, well, you can have 20% capacity, right? So that's what he started to do. And if the numbers kind of stayed the same, then he sort of like went up a little bit, and the numbers went up, of course. And then he had to shut down stuff a little bit. And he kind of did this back and forth thing until it sort of leveled itself out. But you notice the trend every time he opened stuff up, the numbers would go up. Obviously, I mean, that's like, of course. But once they did the mask thing, they did a mandatory mask thing in Las Vegas. And once they did that, it really helped. At least it helped the cases for sure. But now I actually just read today that I think 3 or 4 of the casinos are going to be 24/7 again. Oh, wow. Because the numbers have steadily gone down, and like, I guess the trend. And I mean, with the vaccine and stuff, people getting it, even though it's not going to the general public, if you're vaccinating, anyone in the public, at least those people, aren't getting it. So, and spreading it. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that by the end of the summer, the majority of the general population will have the vaccine. And
it looks like it's on par for that. At least I know down here, the vaccines are going like crazy. I mean, that's another thing. Our governor did keep things open, but he's also made it a point to get as much of the vaccine here as possible. I know, like I said, my wife, she is swamped. I mean, swamped with the people coming in to get vaccines. And
so your wife probably got it like a few months ago, right? Or like what?
Actually, the strangest thing is my wife and I both got it like last year around February, March, like right as it was starting to come out.
I meant the vaccine, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, dude, I hate needles. I'm not getting a vaccine.
This is a topic that Sean and I have talked about a couple of times on the interview show, his feelings about the vaccine. And I I think it comes down to this. You're either taking a risk with getting sick or having complications from the vaccine, something that isn't truly tested 100%, or you're at risk for catching a virus that may make you sick. And it's a
Wow.
choice, of
Yeah,
because
that's tough because I
there are a
feel
lot of
like,
people who are very afraid of it.
well, but why are they afraid of it? Is there any there's no real proof that it is hurting anybody.
I think the fear is the fact that it hasn't been tested. I have a very complicated medical history. I have a lot of rare disorders and autoimmune diseases. So something like that could really wreak havoc on me. I'm kind of
No, that's
afraid,
true.
right?
That's true. And that's, I feel like that's more warranted, I think. But I mean, if you're in, but I mean, also
But
too,
just in
like,
general, people are scared of everything and nervous,
well,
and
scare everything, yeah.
but the manipulation we felt with our government and the way it's gone along, nobody feels trusting.
Well, that's fair. I mean, I'll give you that.
Right, Sean?
Which is terrible.
I just for me, I'm not what they would call like an anti-vax or anything like that. Like all my kids had their vaccines all the way up until they were 18.
Mhm.
Of course I did growing up as well. And aside from being a slightly psychotic, I don't think it affected me too much. But um, I don't know. It's just, to me, and everybody has their own choice, and that's what's so great about being alive and being a person, and especially being American, is you have your own choice. And me personally, I don't think there's enough testing, or I don't think there's any possible way, even President Trump and his whole team, that they came up with a safe vaccine in less than a year. I don't think it's
Well, right.
possible.
Well, President Trump didn't come up with anything.
Yeah, or we'd
He
all
didn't
be
do
fucking shooting
he
up
didn't
with
do
bleach,
anything.
yeah, or disinfectant.
Um,
But
well, what about this? What about let's say in a year from now, after everyone's, or the majority of people have been vaccinated, and it's proven to work and be safe, then would you take it? Or is it just the time that it's just so quick, I guess?
Pretty much, to be, if I think, yes,
that's what
it's
I
just,
keep
it's
hearing.
too
Yeah.
sudden. It's too sudden for me to put something into my body that I have no idea exactly what the components are. Like I said, my wife has even sat down and she's like, well, why is that component in there? It doesn't need to be in there. And I'm like, well, I don't know. You tell me. You're the doctor. And so as time progresses and it has proven, and I'm talking maybe a couple of years, and they're still being draconian and saying we can't travel as musicians without the vaccine, then I will consider doing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a thing when.
Well, I mean,
Yes. Yes.
I wanted to bring that up with you too. I mean, uh, the whole music thing. I mean, it's
Yeah, I haven't played a gig since last January or something like that, January, February. So it's been a year, literally just sitting doing nothing. I mean,
Is it your label that's saying you can't, or are you, or is it you
there's
personally?
no one open, nobody.
there's no
And,
place to
and the
play.
and the venues that would be ballsy enough to open, nobody's insuring shows. The insurance companies will not insure them, so therefore you take the liability, and nobody can afford that.
I'm learning that it's like anything over 2,500 requires approval by the state, approval by the mayor of the city, approval by the fire department as to how you're going to keep it COVID safe. So you're stuck to things under 2,500. So like your largest bars, maybe, right? But then
Yeah, but I can't imagine. I mean, I can't imagine them opening even that many people. I mean, right now, I think like in Vegas,
they are
the
in Florida, are they not, John? It's crazy.
I mean, well, we just had the Super Bowl here, and
Yes.
there hasn't been like a huge spike in COVID. So,
oh,
uh,
right, yeah, with yeah, something like that. But I'm talking about venues where they're like, there's no seats, you're just standing like shoulder to shoulder type of thing.
there's a I don't know if you're familiar with Janice Live in Tampa. It's an outdoor basically theater.
Yeah.
I believe
They're
it's right
doing
around 5,000 cap. They've been doing shows there, but they
Wow.
have they have been doing COVID precautions.
Yes.
You know, it's
Yes.
wear a mask in,
Yes.
and basically what they do is they partition out squares.
Oh, I see.
So so it's not quite 6 feet, but
Yeah.
you're in these squares. But it was, I mean, it was pretty packed.
I mean, I've
How
been
many
trying
how many people were at the Super Bowl? That was a lot, right?
a
I
lot.
mean, I
A lot.
I think 100,000.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, this is what I mean. This is happening in one part of the country and not the other. It's very, very frustrating. You know what I mean? But as an artist, would you say go from where you are to Florida, quarantine for 2 weeks to play a show that's only got a few thousand people max?
There's no way to do it fiscally. I mean,
No, I mean,
like,
financially, there's
yeah,
no,
there's
yeah,
no way
that's
to
right.
do it.
Doesn't
There's
it?
no way to do it. I mean, you would
That's what
pay more, you know, like just in your flights and hotel rooms than you would make at the gig because there's not a lot of people paying to get in. So,
exactly.
Now, this is the
like,
thing. I think that celebrities or people that really want to be seen, somebody that's used to being in front of, you know, a large arena, going to a small venue like that, I would pay much more money for that. And then, you know,
yeah,
if it was known really to the general public as to what's happening to the music industry and what's happening to the artist, and truly that just because you have a YouTube video up doesn't mean you're a fucking millionaire.
Right.
I think that if people really understood, they would be more willing to pay the pocket money.
well, you're right, but I still don't think I mean, that might be okay as like a couple one-offs, but like a lot of times on like a bigger tour, like, you know, you would play big venues and small venues, and it would kind of all even itself out, right? To where
Right.
like you might not make, you know, you might not make as much in those smaller venues that you do kind of just these one-off shows, but you would make it up in at the other shows. But that's a whole bunch of them together, like through around a 3 or 4 week sort of tour, right? It would all kind of balance itself
Right.
out. So it would be tough to kind of just do these one-offs unless, you know, if you're like an already established, you know, act where you know, you feel safe going and playing. I forget what band was it, the Foo Fighters or something. I forget, but they can afford to just, you know, if they wanted to just go and do a couple one-offs
Yeah.
and
Right.
maybe
I'm
break even or whatever. But
I'm talking to the superstars sometimes and they're all just itching to play. So I think it's a matter of like, what the hell? If I can get there, you're gonna cover my cost and feed me and I'm gonna be okay. I just want to freaking play music, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
It'd be
mean,
mean,
nice to be
the
able
the
to.
want the want and the desire is there, but what Andy's saying is
Is
to
not
to
feasible.
get a band of any stature whatsoever on the road, or to do, like you said, a couple of one-offs. I mean, the average person has no idea what costs go into doing a show like that. For one, it's not like they just show up and
No,
they
I
get
know.
all the money. The artist actually puts up money,
Yeah.
you know, travel, all that stuff, you know. Um,
yeah, I mean, like with Manson, we would have to do like one or two big shows just right off the bat, and then they
Mhm.
would use that money to fund, you know, the
subsidize
start.
the rest of the
Yeah,
tour. Yeah.
just to start the
Mental.
tour. Because it's like, yeah, like he said, it costs so much money. I mean, we had um 3 or 4 buses, a couple semis. I mean, imagine just the gas money it takes to
Yeah.
move
Yeah.
those vehicles
Yeah.
And they're
is
all diesel.
tens of thousands of dollars. Like
Yeah.
just to do that. I mean, it's just like
And how
it's
many people are
insane.
actually involved?
Yeah.
If
I mean,
Well,
all.
you
yeah,
got
between
Yeah,
all the
it's
lighting, all that. I mean,
crazy.
like, yeah, it's an insane amount of money to do it, especially now because of like, you know, gas and stuff.
And I
speaking
have
of,
a
what are you
question.
doing musically now, Andy?
What's
I'm
that?
sorry.
What are you doing musically now?
Right now I'm just working on a couple original projects, and I do uh I do like some gigs out in Vegas that just kind of like pick up gigs, but I do my main gig is just Tom Petty cover tribute band that we've been doing for like a couple years, and we like travel all over the place to do it. Um, and it's a lot of fun, but right now, like we have shows booked. We've had shows booked since the beginning of the year, and they just keep getting canceled one after the other.
Mm-hmm.
All our shows last year, obviously, and so now we're just kind of like going week by week of like, is this one going to cancel? Is this one going to cancel? So, but they have to book the shows out so far in advance that you like plan on it, and then like a couple weeks before the show, it's like, nope, that one's canceled again.
Yeah.
So,
That's
but
disappointing. I hate.
I
Yeah.
feel like once it gets going, though, I mean, it's going to be awesome. I mean, people are going to go nuts when the
Right.
live shows come back. And you know what? If you have to wear a mask in there, if you can wear a mask and stand up with a bunch of other people and watch live music and then fine, whatever. I mean,
Whatever.
I don't think people will care as long as they get to go.
I don't know if you guys remember or saw the benefit concert in Toronto after the SARS epidemic.
I don't remember.
Oh wow, it was absolutely huge, and it happened so fast. And it was the Rolling Stones, AC/DC, like just a whole bunch of huge bands thrown together in a week, celebrating the, good conclusion of SARS in Toronto. And I just think that's going to happen on an explosive worldwide stage, and it's going to be probably the best next decade in music history.
Yeah,
Just for that reason.
it
Yeah.
might be, especially for live musicians, there's going to be so much work, and I feel like it's going to be really good. But it's just like what does that even look like as far as, do you have to wear a mask? Do you have to, is there going to be just like sections where you can drink? Like, I mean, it's kind of like no one really knows what it looks like for a larger, for like a larger kind of thing. But, I'm hoping by the end of the summer, it'll be close, it'll be close.
I
And by
think
next
it
summer,
happened too in the worst time in the music industry in decades, because everything is upside down. The money's shifting in different directions. Artists aren't being supported in the way they used to be in past times, and this is either going to collapse things and rebuild it in a very different way. I really hope for the better.
yeah, I mean, musicians have been, for the past few years, have been relying on the touring, especially because no one sells albums anymore, obviously. So I feel like, especially bands, I think it's going to be good for new bands, because people are going to be so excited to just go out and see live music and to just be at a club, be at a bar, that it might help brand new bands who don't have a following or who are just starting. And, people are just out and about, and, it might bring in new fans for some of these bands who, who normally would be trying to start and having a rough time of it, So, I mean, I'll tell you what, it can't make it worse.
Yeah.
It can't be worse than playing no shows.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so we'll see.
Well, I'm hearing from a lot of, people in the industry that everybody has the general consensus, like mid to end summer. I know some of the festivals are talking about moving forward and opening up again. So
Yeah.
I just heard actually from a few people that Vakken got rescheduled again to 2022. So
what did?
Vakken.
Vakken, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if the big major festivals are like doing something, I think everybody's gonna freaking follow suit, unfortunately.
Well,
And it's again, like you said, the insurance. I'm sure it depends country by country, but like, I didn't want to believe it when somebody said that last March, 2022, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
you just duped us all.
Yeah. Well, you also got to think about, like, a lot of those festivals like in Europe and stuff, they rely on people traveling
To
to go
them,
there. Yeah.
yes.
So it's like, you know, it's like you put the festival on, and if America is not doing great as far as that, means that everyone who would have come from America isn't going to show.
Or
Yes.
And isn't
can't
and
go.
or can't, yeah, exactly, or can't go and isn't going to pay for hotels there, and going out to eat in restaurants there, and just normal touristy stuff, right? That makes wherever those festivals are, that makes them money. um and that's just one country. And like, I mean, the restrictions on all the other countries too. So it's kind of like they have to think about that. It's like they can say, okay, well, our country's doing great, so we can put on normal shows, but to put on a big festival, we need people from all over the world to come, and spend money.
We only
um
have 10
and
minutes left. Unfortunately, Zoom cuts us off after 40 minutes. But was there anything you wanted to talk about? I know that there's a lot of crazy stuff surrounding Manson right now. Is there anything you wanted to say or not say about it?
yeah, I mean, I can't really comment on any of that stuff.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, um I like I feel like you don't want to take anything away from what the victims are saying, but everyone has their sort of own experience with him, I guess, as far as even like being in the band, being
Mhm.
his manager, being anything, right? So I mean, like, you're in his little bubble, but there's still pockets of that bubble that you're in, right? So
Mhm.
I never um I was never around him when he was at his house ever. I never went to his house, because I didn't live in LA. Um, so any of that stuff, I literally don't know. I have no idea.
I
Um,
think I feel like I don't want to take sides. I don't want to like you said feel the same way. But my frustration is that it hasn't been proven one way or another, and his label and everybody is dropping him like a hot potato before knowing. And I think that there are so many
Yeah.
artists who have committed crimes, let's say serious crimes, murders, rapes, drunk driving, horrible things, you know what I mean? And they're
yeah. Are
still
you seeing
allowed
that,
to
Raven?
keep their stuff. And I think that's where my frustration is I feel public persecution. The minute it stops selling records, everybody's like, whoa. And I'm frustrated by that one aspect of the lack again of label support.
Yeah, I almost think that this might be, um, I guess this might have been building up to this a long time ago.
Yes.
Um,
For him specifically, or just in
yeah,
general? And
for him specifically, and like, it's tough, man. I mean, like, he like he said in his response, like he said that his life and his art has always been a target for controversy, and he's right. I mean,
Yes.
um like when he first came out, well, I mean, when he first came out, everyone was, all the mostly the conservative people, and even my parents and blah blah blah, they were trying to cancel him from the beginning.
right,
Yes.
um
Yes.
so I feel like, um maybe this was just the sort of straw that broke the camel's back type of thing, to where it was like, what, it's only going to take that one thing, to just blanket, just, all right, it's done type of thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, the it's tough because I don't know. I don't know what happened with those
Nobody
people,
does.
and it's kind of like, if they're saying that that stuff happened, I mean, what does, especially like someone like Evan, what does she get out of it? She doesn't get anything out of it as far as money or anything like that, to come out and to say that stuff. She has a great career. It's not helping her career to say that stuff. Um, so I don't know, man. It's a weird thing.
It's hard to say. I mean, because you could speculate all day long. It doesn't mean you have the facts. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
And it's like it's that thing where it's always that, like, do you separate the artist from the art type of thing? I mean, they still play fucking Michael Jackson songs on the radio.
I know, and
And
I can't.
that dude, I
Ugh.
mean, come on. Even if he
Yeah,
didn't do the worst possible things to the kids that they say, he did something. The
yeah,
parents said that they went into the bedroom with him, blah, blah. Okay, so that's weird.
yeah.
yeah.
But
And it
should
killed
we?
again something so sacred to my childhood. You know what I mean?
I
Like
know it's
it
brutal,
just,
man.
and this is, and I can't, I couldn't bear it. If this broke the love affair with the music, that's just so damn fucking good. But we all saw publicly that he was struggling. We all saw that his lifestyle probably wasn't the most healthy thing in the world, just visually, like wore it on his
Yeah,
face, you can see it.
yeah.
And it was allowed to happen, you know?
Well, I like, I used to say all the time, after I left the band and stuff, that, like, Manson was one of the last, like, true rock stars.
Yes.
Um, like
Genius.
him, Scott Weiland. I mean, these guys, not that it's good or bad, but they lived like that rock and roll lifestyle, and um it eventually will catch up to you, if not by
Yes.
killing you, at least
Yes.
by deteriorating your health and your mental health.
And how
Um,
many people have we lost? How many people that we, after it happens, cry and the whole world goes, what the fuck could we have done?
yeah,
But the people in control of you, your managers, your friends, the people making money off of you should at least be the ones taking care of you. And this is,
yeah, but
I think,
usually it's the opposite of that.
Right. They're the ones
yeah,
they're the ones
yeah, but I
fueling the
mean,
Yeah, they're the ones
no,
feeling it.
like
Yeah,
this is the what I hope to God changes again with the complete collapse and rebuilding of the music industry. The responsibility of what you're doing to somebody as you make them a superstar.
wait, I mean,
well,
you have to
sorry, go ahead.
remember that, Manson,
Oh,
Brian is a real person. He's not just Marilyn Manson. He has his own demons, his own childhood, his own memories. He's a real fucking person. And most people deal with it like by going to the bar and getting too fucking shit faced or whatever. Manson just has a bigger bar and a bigger buffet, and
Right.
people saying, yeah, we want you to be the fabulous disaster because it sells records, it sells shit.
exactly. That's the thing.
So,
Yeah.
but
At some point,
again, all these people, all these stars, Britney Spears, Manson, they all have handlers. They all have people that walk them from the car to the hotel. It's kind of hard to put a leash on an artist because that's just how they are. I mean, you
Yeah, they
know,
have to they have to they have to want to do it themselves.
of
I
course,
remember
as
I
anybody
remember
does
I
in
think
that
uh
life,
I think
in not dealing with that. But
I think Kid Rock was talking to he was talking to Howard Stern, and he was saying how, once he made a bunch of money and stuff, he had, like, you know, people at his house, like, taking out his garbage and cleaning and blah blah. And eventually he was just like, it got to the point where she's like, I'll fucking take out my own fucking garbage. Like,
yeah.
like, I just live my life. Like, when I'm at home, I'm just, that's what I do. I fucking clean the dishes. I take out the garbage. Like, and that sort of, like, levels you back down a little bit, as much as someone like him could be. But still, like, but he made that choice. No one, his manager wasn't like, hey, you need to get rid of your butlers or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
he made the choice of, like, I just need to be fucking somewhat normal while I'm at home, type of thing.
yeah,
um
yeah.
and for some of them, it's harder.
Is there?
Well,
Is
dude, it
there?
was great talking to you. It looks
Yeah,
like we got less than a minute. I don't want to cut you off, just blank screen.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
No
okay. Yeah,
kidding.
I get it.
I can't thank you enough for doing this. It's quite an honor to me. I've been a huge fan of you for a very long time. You can just ask anybody. But is there anything you'd like to say or leave off with?
Well, I'm currently working on a couple original projects, and when those come out, maybe we can do another one of these and kind of just use that to promote something, because I don't really have anything to promote right now, so it's just
Thank you
more of
so
just us
much for
chatting,
that.
which is cool.
Yeah.
Like yeah, this was cool. It actually, the other one I did, I just did another one, which is funny because I've never done podcasts or anything like this before, and then all of a sudden now they're just like popping up. But the other one I did was just with one person, which was cool, and him kind of asking questions. But this was actually a little bit more fun because it's like three of us just kind of chatting.
Yeah,
Um,
I love Kelly's format. I was
Thank
telling
you
her
so much for
that
that.
her format of just hanging out and having like-minded musicians and people with.
Come on, everybody, don't be shy. Reach out to me this way and come be on the show as a solo or in a group chat with me and Lips. Thanks so much, everybody. Kelly V.